a small village, surrounded by mountains and rice fields, there lived a 9-year-old boy named Gino. He grew up in a humble family of farmers. Every day, Gino worked alongside their Carabao, Berto, a large water buffalo with long horns and a gentle face. From the time Gino was little, Berto had been his constant companion in the rice fields. To Gino, Berto was more than just an animal. He was a friend and a teacher. Although Berto couldn't speak, it always seemed like he understood everything Gino said. One day, bad news struck the village. A severe drought had gripped their land, and it hadn't rained in months. The rice fields dried up, the crops began to wither, and the farmers lost hope. "What will happen to us now, Father?" Gino asked as he stared at the cracked soil. "There won't be any harvest this year, son. We'll need to work even harder to get by," his father replied. Their work became much tougher. They had to pump water from the well to irrigate what was left of their crops. But under the scorching sun, exhaustion set in quickly. Even Berto, who was usually full of energy, seemed to grow weaker. One afternoon, while Gino's father was operating the water pump, the machine broke down. "We have no more water to use," his father said with despair. But Gino refused to give up. He remembered an old, abandoned well at the far end of the rice field. Although people said it was too difficult to dig out, he suggested, "Let's try using that well, Father." They quickly got to work, but it was grueling labor. Gino and his father dug tirelessly, carrying heavy sacks of soil away from the well. Then Berto came forward. Despite the heat and his weariness, the Carabao walked up to them, as if he understood they needed help. With a rope tied to the sacks, Berto began hauling them away from the well. Over and over, he carried the loads without complaint. Even though he was clearly exhausted, Berto didn't stop until the well was cleared and they could finally access water. As Gino watched Berto's unwavering determination, he thought, "If Berto can keep going, even when he's tired, so can I." This realization gave Gino renewed strength. He pushed himself harder to dig and fix the old well. In the end, they managed to retrieve water and irrigate the fields little by little. Months later, the rains finally came. The crops began to grow again, and the farmers in the village regained hope. Gino and Berto's story became an inspiration to everyone, a tale of perseverance in the face of life's toughest challenges. To Gino, Berto became a role model for resilience and hard work. He learned that no matter how difficult life may seem, with persistence and determination, one can find a way forward. From then on, Gino and Berto happily worked side by side. With every step they took together, it felt as though Berto was silently telling him, "Never give up." "Thank you, Berto," Gino whispered to himself. "Because of you, I've learned to fight." And so ends the story of the boy and his role model Carabao, a tale that inspires everyone to never give up in life.